All right, got it. I got it fixed up. I did not completely take it back and remove this, the deformation here on this corner. This one's not too bad, a little bit yet, but if I were to take that all the way back, I'd have to remove, I don't know, maybe a 32nd of an inch of metal, and I'm just not going to do that. It's sharp. That burr that was there is gone, and that actually cut my finger when I picked it up and went like that. I put a little slice in my finger. So I've got that off of there. That's good, and it's sharp. And that's the part I'm most concerned about, is that even to that corner, I still can dig into my fingernail. So it's back to functional, and that's what I was after. It'll work. That's the main thing, and it won't mar my work on that one corner as it goes across like that, which is mainly what I use this chisel for. It's a kind of a flush trimming tool. So I'll take, as time goes on, probably over the next, maybe 10 sharpenings, who knows, and that could be a couple of years before I finally get that out. So that's why I'm not going to take it all out right now. That one. Batching out these materials. These are my 4 mid-size drawer bottoms. These will get ripped in half for my small drawer bottoms. These are going to get ripped for small drawer fronts, of which I do not have enough. I'm pretty sure of that. I think I'm going to be, I'm going to be short. I'm going to be, this is going to give me a little over halfway. Then these are my long sides that are the same length for every drawer. And I've got enough here to do all of those. So my next deal is to get these bottoms sized to the opening. What I've decided to do is just do a rabbet along all 4 edges, build the frame and set it on there and glue it up flat. And when the glue dries, hopefully it'll stay that way. We'll see. All right. So they sit back in about a 1/16 of an inch. Cutting these rabbets, I've got my depth of cut set, at least I think I do. I can always come up. If I did anything, I left it a little bit low. This fence, you can't see my fence behind here, but I have to have it open because I'm using that bottoming bit that's about 1.5 inches in diameter, or 1.25 inches. So if I were to come through this cut with this short side, I'd run the risk of it being diving into this opening I have back here. So I've got this fence straddling the bit, and I've got it shimmed up 1/8 inch plus the thickness of a credit card and locked in, so that will prevent the this thing tipping or going into the opening. The other thing I've done is I've taken the time to scribe with a marking gauge, and I actually used a gauge that has a knife in it rather than those round blades. It's a cleaner cut, so hopefully that will eliminate any tear out. And other than that, I should be good to go. So I've got 2 long pieces here, and then the bottom, and I've also scribed the cross grain on the bottom as well. So there's only one way really to find out if this is going to work, and that's to go ahead and do this. So here we go. It's nice and clean. Now will it stay flat? There's my bottom. Those 2 pieces. And then I got to measure for the difference. I like the depth of cut. It's just a hair over halfway, but that's okay. So this one. Two of these. Nice uniform color. You can tell that I just barely skimmed that beginning of the next ply there. So let's measure for a couple of cross pieces here. Make sure they're going to fit. And then we glue this thing up. Okay, this looks pretty good. I've got to come up with some kind of a method here. And this is my first go at it, to have a couple of calls to grab the sides and get them flat. And then as I push down on these pieces, that flattens out the bottom. My original thought was to clamp the bottom this way, but it seems to flatten out pretty good. Now I'm just going to loosen this up because, and I think I'm going to have to move this over one dot. That's good. About a 1/16 of an inch. That's good. Okay, so the height is good. Don't have to change the width of these pieces at all. Now I've just got to get something set up to make my cutout here. Alright, I've got these sides dialed in. I had to take the time to make a makeshift, not a makeshift, I had to make another stop because I don't want to change my setting. So my original stop, the flip stop that comes with that Osborne miter gauge, is what I'll use for the short pieces, and then I made a right angle stop, modified a right angle stop I had, shortened it up, blah blah blah, but it works. And that's my long one. So I should be good to cut at least one row or one column of short boxes, and then another set of pieces for the double boxes. Here's my setup for drilling these finger pulls. I wanted about a 1/2 inch cut into this piece on a center line, which I've got right here, and all I did was drop my bit down, put a dimple in there, and then ran the center line. So once I got that, I'm just going to hold that freehand, and then I just made a mark out here for the corner. So this is, I got an S for my short side, and then this will be the long one out here. So as long as I get the corner on the mark, I don't have to worry about center line anymore. And then this is a 3/4 or a 1/2 inch piece. This is 3/4, which gives me that lip to push it against. This is locked in here, and then this piece is locked this way, so that each time I use the bit, I should have a good zero clearance cut. So let's make the first one here. Just double check to make sure I'm about a 1/2 inch. I'm a little short of it, but that's all right. That's good enough. We'll see what it looks like. That's no good. I kicked it right out. Too much of the bit. Too much of the bit is pushing this way. So I've got to find a way to secure this. All right. Try it again. Okay. That'll work. I'll put a little glue on that piece that kind of blew on me there. I'll glue that back down in there. I'll put that to the inside. That'll be good. That's a nice little pull. So this one. And you can see where I'm going to have to batch these things out. Because I'm going to have to move this. That's good, relatively clean. I like it. Well, this is going to be a painstakingly slow process if I've got to do it like this. One drawer at a time, basically. Well, you can see what we got here. I got the bottom clamp down flat. Glue's coming from, or clamps coming from 3 directions. These cauls are pushing the bottom in, and these 2 are pulling the corners tight. They were tight, but I guess I can just put a little pressure on them. Yeah, everything looks pretty good here. So I got to give this a few minutes to set up before I can do this one.